Hi everyone, this is Julie. Today I'm going to show you how to make a woven cage wire beaded bracelet. And first off we need some wire, and I'm using 24 gauge galvanized steel wire. And I buy this in the picture hanging section at Walmart. It's the Ook brand, if that's how you pronounce it. I find that it's just as good as craft wire, but a lot less expensive, because this roll of 250 feet cost, I think, $5.99. And then you're going to need some beads, a lobster claw, and a little hoop for the other end for the connectors. And basically I'm using one of these. It's just the standard cardboard circle with 8 lines, but then you only put 7 wires on it. And the way you do this is let me get this stuff out of the way. Okay, so when you have the blank spot, you count over 3. And then move it to the blank spot, and then go to the next blank spot, count over 3, and move that wire to the blank spot. My difference is I have one of them marked with a dot, and every third time I go into that spot with a wire, every third time I put a bead on it. So I've just placed a bead, you can see right here. So what we're going to do is just keep going a little bit. So you count over 1, 2, 3, move it to this slot. And then since it's wired, you got to kind of keep pushing down in the center. And this is kind of rough on your fingers, so if you have delicate skin, you might want to use some gloves. It's not cutting into my fingers, it just kind of gets uncomfortable after a little while. So again, the third one, we're going to move over here from the blank spot, and just keep continuing like that. It's the same as one of these done from yarn or cord, except with wire. And they get a little tangled on the back, especially when working on a table instead of your lap. Again, we've got to push down in the center. Okay, this is the spot we want to watch for. Okay, I'm at here, but this is, I just placed a bead. So this is number 1. When I get to the third count of going into that one with the dot on it, that's when I place a bead. And you can do them more frequently or less frequently according to your preference, but I like to space them out by doing every third one into this spot. So I'm going to pause the video and move a little further along. Oh, here, let me show you the back. That's what it looks like. Kind of. So I'll pause, and when we get a little bit longer, come back to you. Okay, here we are at my third placement into this one spot. So basically all I'm going to do is slide a bead on this wire. Go down there, and you kind of push it in a little bit. And you do that before you put the... And it's going to kind of want to ride back up that wire a little bit. So for the next several placements, I'm going to kind of hold it so it'll stay down in there. And not be trying to come up, back up. And these wires do try and pop out of their slots. Just got to keep pushing them back down in there. See, now it's pretty much in there, so it should stay. And then we keep going around. You can see what's coming out the end. Just kind of a little swirl of wire instead of yarn. And just keep going around so you get the proper length that you want for your bracelet. I'm going to pause the video again because it takes a little while. Okay, here we are back with the caged wire, or I'm sorry, caged bead bracelet. Alright, I've gotten to the length that I want the bracelet to be. And all we're going to do, oh, and the last third spot where you put the bead, skip that one. That way they'll be equally spaced kind of from the end. So basically we just pull all these out of their slots. Just so. And then slide the entire thing through the hole in the center. Now as you can see, there's kind of a bit of wider spots. If you don't like the look of that, you can grab both ends by a little pliers or just your fingers and kind of pull a little, kind of squish those in like this. There. Of course, if you pull on it, it's going to make it a little bit longer than it was. Alright, so now we want to attach our connectors or closures. And what I do is kind of find a middle strand of this wire. And you got to kind of untangle them a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to feed this jump ring, or no, lobster claw closure through there. Fold that one out of the way. And then for extra strength, if it'll go through, I'm going to feed another one through that little hole. There we go. And kind of push and pull on that at the same time. There, that way I have two wires going through the end of that lobster claw closure. And then the rest of these, we're just going to fold over like this. And then you can see the closures on the end with these folded over. And we can't leave them there because they'll be stabbing you in the arm. So what we're going to do with those is, get my jump ring out of the way. And this 24 gauge wire pretty easily cuts with just scissors. So about right there, I'm going to take these one at a time and cut them off. Oops, sorry. And take these one at a time and cut them off about right here. And all to the same approximate length. Now the wire, of course, is a little bit more difficult to work with than yarn or cord, but I believe it's well worth the effort. Again, we're just cutting these off about, say, almost an inch. Well, that one's not short enough. They don't have to be perfect, so we're going to be covering them up. There we go. And we have all our end wires cut off to approximately the same length there. With this folded over. And you can kind of squeeze that together. You actually could just kind of squeeze it with scissors. Just don't cut into it too badly. There. Now, to make this end safe and more user-friendly for the wrist, so it doesn't get stabbed with ends of wires, we're going to cover that. And what I have here is a piece that I'm just folding in half. I'll hook that through a couple of these end wires to give it a good hold. There we go. And then just start wrapping around here like this. And make sure you cover over those ends. There. Got all the sharp pointy ends covered up. And now I'm going to take this end and poke it up through there. Actually, I'm going to cut off some first. There we go. That's still a little long. You don't want it so short you can't work with it, but it does need to go up in there. I'm just using the scissors a bit to bend that. It doesn't want to go. But basically, aim that there. And poke it up inside where you've wrapped the wire. Like that. Kind of aim it that way. And then push it up in there. And make sure it's not poking out anywhere. There. Now we have a nicely wrapped end with no sharp points coming out with the lobster clasp. And then you repeat with the other end and the jump ring, and then they will connect together like that. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If so, please like and subscribe. Again, my name is Julie. Thank you.